What are some green flags early on in dating that the relationship should become serious? They genuinely like being able to do things to help you out and vice versa. Both people genuinely enjoying the conversation. Being attentive to each other. No negative attitude either. To add to this, asking questions. If you're enjoying the conversation because you're dominating the talking, it makes people turned off. Ask them questions and expect them to ask you some in return. Show interest in them by asking questions about things they seem energized. This is huge in developing good conversations. My husband and I have endless conversations. There's nothing we can't talk about. Nothing. The first time we ever chatted on the phone, we talked for 6 hours. We've been together for 15 years, and as today I learned I'll talk every day. Several times a day. We love our breakfast time because we chat after eating and really enjoy each other's company. We love talking no matter where we are. And since he also works from home, we work together. There's lots of times we're saying nothing. Just enjoying being around each other. But I love that we can talk about anything we want and it doesn't descend into an argument. This was one of the most romantic things my husband did when we were early-ish in our relationship. He doesn't even remember it or think it was a big deal, but it was a huge green flag for me. I was preparing to move to a new apartment and had a ton of stuff going on in my life, including trying to coordinate moving out with expensive heat treatment for bedbugs that my a-hole landlord refused to be involved with. I was super stressed and drained, and when I was cleaning the fridge, one of the shelves inside literally shattered. I was basically beside myself and so frustrated because I knew that said a-hole landlord was going to screw me on my security deposit now after all I put up with. So I vented to my husband, then boyfriend, and was basically just like, I give up. Everything is the worst. The next day he let me know that he had looked up my fridge model, found the shelf as a standalone piece and ordered it, and it would be there in 2 days or whatever. I cried. I was so grateful. I was so overwhelmed and emotionally exhausted over the bedbugs and moving and everything else, and the fact that he saw that and just took something off my plate and handled it was such a relief. It showed me what a supportive partner he could be, and it was just what I needed. Also, when my parents' dog, which I'd grown up with, got old and stopped being able to jump onto his favorite chair, my husband then boyfriend built a ramp for the dog so he could still get up there to sit with my mom. And he matched it to her decor on purpose. These were all things he just felt like, well, of course, it was needed about. But they reinforced what a caring, thoughtful, loving, true partner he was. He still seeks out ways to do little things to make my life easier all the time. Many years later. Obviously these examples are specific, but hopefully you see the overall green flag qualities they showed. Taking embarrassing speech in stride. This was pretty literal for me. Sorry. This is my second post. I used to have ulcerative colitis really severely, which led to me speeping myself far more often than one should speep themselves in their early 20s. When I first started seeing my husband, who is ASD, we'd drive from campus to my apartment, and I'd be like, white knuckle concentrating on not speeping myself in his car. Run up the stairs, usually barely making it to the bathroom before he walked through the door. One night I didn't make it. I'm basically hiding in the bathroom and turned on the shower. BC, it's a gross mess. On the other side of the door. He's all, why are you always so mad at me when we drive to your place? Did I say something? He'd been reading my try not to speak face as I'm angry. So I came clean and admitted I'd just speak myself, preparing for him to sort of back out slowly and end things as quickly as would be polite. This was within our first 2 months. His response instead: oh. So you just speak yourself? Where are your jeans? In the garbage. That's silly. Jeans are expensive. The laundromat is locked for the night. But do you have a bucket or something? We can soak them overnight and wash them tomorrow. Are really not grossed out? Shrug. Not like you could help it. Just to me. I thought you were mad. Tell me what's going on. You know? I have feared that exact scenario since I started having UC symptoms. And my future rolled with it. Years later, when I had my colectomy, he bathed me in the hospital. After that, when he had to have a circumcision at 25, I looked after his stitches/changed his bandages several times. We laughed about how gross stuff was. He's seriously the best. There's a relationship I was in for quite some time with a girl who had Crohn's to the extent of having an ostomy bag. She was so hesitant to share with me. Not even her closest friends knew except one. But alas, something like that you can't keep secret forever from a partner you plan to be intimate with. She didn't want people to look at or treat her differently, to think she couldn't do things, and I don't blame her in many ways. I had and still do have so much respect for that woman. It did change my opinion about her, but in the sense I felt it made her shine more. She was very strong and soft-hearted, caring, determined, and ambitious. I had historically always thought to myself sadly that I didn't know how people could happily build lives with those who may have lifelong less than ideal situations like that. It really bothered me that I thought that too. And I'm sure in some ways she had the same fears of how will someone like me? After meeting her and getting to know her, it kinda just became clear. It never felt like a burden. It never felt annoying. It honestly in many ways made me like her more because it was a testament to her character. It was just a part of life and life was still a-okay overall. Heck, even while intimate things like the ostomy bag never stood out, it was there sure, but in my head it just wasn't something that mattered. I just saw her and she was beautiful regardless. It's unfortunate it didn't work out for other reasons. But I really value that relationship. She taught me so much about acceptance. Better understanding the lack of knowledge we have of everyone else's world. And also about myself. Man, typing this out, I think I need to revisit those lessons. Undefined. On my second date. Before I was supposed to move states. We got stuck in a parking garage cause of an accident for 45 minutes. We watched a non-subtitled foreign film on my phone. Enjoyed talking with one another. And we connected despite being done with what we had planned to do and were stuck in a car. I ended up canceling my move and marrying the woman. Undefined. How good is their company during a drive? Or when there is nothing to do? My future wife and I found that we loved just spending time together. We could talk for hours in a car during a drive. Sometimes the drive was more interesting than where we were going. A few weeks into our relationship, we went through a drive-thru and she spontaneously unwrapped and rewrapped my burger so I could eat it while driving with clean hands. I knew I was going to marry her. Just over a week from now it will be 23 years. Being able to make each other laugh. Understanding the other person's sense of humor is critical in long relationships. And besides, do you really want to get serious with someone who can't hardly make you laugh or smile? You genuinely enjoy one another's company during dull moments. Life's full of them and you are going to want a partner who you can enjoy them with. When you can talk forever about pretty much anything. And when something you have different opinions about becomes an interesting discussion rather than a fight. Encouraging growth. But doesn't try to change your foundation.